I know there may have been some confusion in regards to the times. Actually, I was confused myself. Rupa will remember. Um, I like to call it Mandela effect. Let's call it a Mandela effect. Everybody familiar with the Mandela effect? Because we thought, oh, there might be a clash with the CEO's call, but actually the CEO's call was at 5 p.m. UK time, I believe. So, but yeah, I hope you guys are all doing amazing. I'll quickly start with a bit of a background in regards to what's going on, what I'm doing, why we're here, and what to expect. And then before we dive into the call, okay? So, in regards to AkashX, okay, I've been here from the start, the very beginning, from laying the foundations, the bricks, in regards to everything that you all see on the call. Sorry, everything that you all see in AkashX right now. It was very different, okay? When I got started, I was appointed, firstly, to work on the back office with our wonderful CEO, Josh Swagel, and of course, bringing on new products and services into the platform. I started shifting the direction in regards to where AkashX was going. Our direction was very different. And then we started focusing more on trades, bringing trades to our clients, quality trades, trade alerts, and so on. And then we opened up tap to trade for the whole AkashX community, and we was the first, of course, in the whole industry to have tap to trade. Now you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, this guy, that pathway was there for this guy, or this, or everything that he was doing, that's his field, that's always been his field. But I want you guys to understand this, okay, in regards to the trading industry. um I didn't have it easy, and the blueprint wasn't always there for me. The pathway wasn't always there for me. A bit about myself, okay? I was born in East London, okay? Hackney to be specific. In a working class family, okay? My family was on benefits. If you guys are familiar with that, it's like a government benefits that's given to lower class working individuals or non-working individuals, and I had a dream. Sound like Martin Luther King there. I had a dream. I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to work out of the situation that I was in, that I was coming from, and I knew that I wanted more. Maybe like you guys that's on this call right now, maybe you want more. Maybe you are not from a situation like mine, maybe something better, but you still want more. And that's completely fine. I was in a position where I wanted more for myself, for my family, okay? So I knew trading was going to be that for me. Don't ask me how I knew. I just felt it. It was a feeling, When I first came across trading, it excited me. Being able to make money from trading, it excited me quite a lot. I knew, wow, okay, like money comes in fast, money goes out fast, so I can be slow with it if I want to, and so on. Don't mind me, I'm just taking off my hoodie. Um, I knew that, okay, trading could be the one for me. I could potentially make a lot of money for myself or for my family through trading, if I stick to it, okay? I didn't know nothing about trading when I got started into it. None of my family was doing any trading or anything like that. And I wasn't studying trading in school or anything like that either. I was studying a level 3 BTech science. For those that are from the UK, I was studying my sciences, so biology, chemistry, and physics. And I thought I would go down the traditional route. But at the same time, I really enjoyed trading. So in the beginning, it wasn't a thing of, okay, trading is what is going to change my life. That's not what I thought in the beginning. In the beginning, my intention was just to make some extra cash flow from trading, just to make some extra money from trading. That was my intentions, I promise you. My intentions was just to make some extra money from trading. Okay. Of course, life had different plans for me. The world works in mysterious ways. When I got started into trading, because I didn't know anything, the markets taught me a lot. The markets humbled me a lot. I ended up losing a lot of money. Of course, I don't want that to be the case for you guys on this call. That's why we're going to be diving into ensuring you guys are prepped and ready and not making the same mistakes that I was, because I was going in with a gambler's mindset. I was gambling on the markets, I was losing quite a lot of money gambling on the markets. And I was thinking to myself, okay, if I can if I can lose that much money from trading, surely I must be able to make it back through trading. Well, surely I must be able to make that much through trading, right? That was my mentality at the time. So fast forward to once I started finding success, how? How did I find success in trading? Well, A lot of people, okay, and I see this on social media as well, and I see this with a lot of newbie traders. They try to get to the results very, very fast. They try to get to the success very, very fast. They try to get to the big amounts of money very, very fast. It didn't work like that for me. Now, I can assure you, there's a lot of people in today's day and age that would love to swap places with me, but they wouldn't have liked to swap places with me back then when I got started in trading. When I got started in trading, I wasn't flashy. I didn't have the nice car. I didn't have the nice lifestyle or anything like that. But how did I get to where I am today? It's because I stayed in my own lane. There's a funny thing about staying in your own lane. There's no traffic. I had no traffic in my own lane. I'll be honest, yes, I was one of those. When I did go into social media, I would see, whoa, he's driving this. Whoa, that lifestyle. I wish I had that. I did do that, I must admit. But I didn't let that affect my journey. I did not let that affect what I was doing at the time. That's the mistake that I see a lot of people make. They sit down and all their past traumas or all the money that they need to make, all their debt is sitting with them in front of their screen when they're trading. I wasn't doing that when I was trading. I didn't put pressure on myself when I was trading. That is not what you guys should be doing. Everybody that's on this call right now, please, that's the first thing. It's just coming naturally to me while I'm speaking to you guys. Please don't put pressure on yourself. I didn't put pressure on myself. I understand. I get it. Life is hard. Life gets in the way. You need to pay for this. You need to pay for that. You need to do that. But why do you come to trading and say, okay, trading, get me out of this? Okay, trading, pay for my loans or pay for my debt and all of that. When trading wasn't the reason why you got into this situation. If trading isn't the reason as to why you got into the situation, why would you expect it from the charts? Why would you expect it from trading? You need to get rid of that mindset, firstly. Trust me, you need to get rid of that mindset because if you come into the markets ungrateful, if you come into the markets expecting, the markets will make you will humble you. The markets will make you understand why you should have been grateful. The markets will get you to understand why you should have been grateful. I say that again because once you come into the markets demanding, I want you to treat the markets as if it's a person, guys. Okay, not me. Look at the charts. I want you to treat the markets like it's a person, like it's a living, breathing being. Okay? Do not demand off of the markets. Build a relationship with the markets. That's what I started doing. That's what I started doing. I started building a relationship with the markets. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to start diving into the session now with you guys. But firstly, you need to understand the markets. Let me go on to let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Where's Google Chrome gone? Give me 1 second. I can share my screen with you guys. There we are. Share. Oh, yes. Perfect. Okay. Can you guys all see my screen? Let me know on the chat. If you guys can all see my screen, please let me know on the chat. If you want, just put 777 on the chat. Let me know. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Rupert said yes. Dennis said yes. Okay, lovely. What I would appreciate as well, guys, on this call, if we can have some interaction. Okay, I'll be asking you some questions and so on, because I'm going to be diving into the session the same way as if you guys are my best friends on the markets, trading with me on the markets. Okay, so I'd appreciate some interaction because I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask for your opinions and so on. And I'm going to be asking questions to see if you guys have been paying attention. Okay, because we're going to be looking at the markets very, very differently compared to what you're used to. Okay, now I'm not going to be one of those selfish teachers that tell you to forget what you've learned or what you already know, forget about it, and so on. I'm not going to be one of those. I understand there's different levels of education here on the call. There's some people that are advanced traders, um, medium or professional traders, or semi-pro or amateur level traders, new traders, complete beginners. I completely understand, but I'm going to be walking you through the way I trade, and potentially you might like it. The reason why I specifically said I'm going to be walking you through how I look at the markets is because there's different styles. Okay, the markets is catered to different types of people. The markets is not racist. The markets does not care about my skin color, does not care about what class I come from, my financial situation, or anything like that. The markets does not care. The markets only cares about how I behave with it. The markets only cares about how I behave with it. Okay, so I know I might have some individuals that are, maybe you might just be focusing on the network marketing aspect. That's completely fine. Trust me, just give this a go with me. Okay, just give this a go with me. And I feel like by the end of this session, maybe you might be somebody that has a lot to say about trading, or can confidently say, hey, like I feel much more confident about trading and my trades are moving forward. You might like to be one of those individuals that really plug in with me, follow my trades, and make a lot of money, because that's the goal here. Okay, that's the only reason why you're paying a subscription. You're not going to be paying a subscription as a charitable donation. You want to gain a benefit from it, right? You want to make some money or gain some knowledge. Am I correct, guys? That's the reason why you guys are here. That's the reason why you guys are in AkashX, because you want financial freedom, or to make an extra cash flow, to make an extra income, or to gain some knowledge, whatever it may be. By the end of this call, I feel like we're going to be somewhere. Okay, so anyway, I have the charts in front of me. This is on TradingView. I'm not even on a paid account. I'm on a free TradingView account. A lot of people say, oh yeah, like I'm a pro member on TradingView. I got 6 charts in front of me. This is proof that you kind of don't even need 6 charts in front of you, or 6 screens in front of you, and so on. That makes sense depending on the type of trading you're doing. Because I'm doing AkashX trading, I'm providing trade alerts, I'm trading with you guys, or doing TTT style trades, and so on. It doesn't require me to. Okay? For us to make money off the markets, in the beginning, it doesn't require us to. Okay? When I was managing funds, when I was at a point in my career where I was managing funds, trading with large amount of funds, scalping heavily with large amount of funds, and so on, it made sense for me to have multiple screens. Okay, the reason why is because, well, we're gonna dive into today's session, depending on how much time we have, and hopefully Rupa doesn't get angry at us, okay, for going over time. But we have in front of me right now, I have XAU USD. Okay, over here, as you can see, if you click on a symbol on the left hand side, there's XAU USD. Now, there's multiple XAU USDs in front of me on the charts. There's multiple. You guys can see multiple, right? The reason why is because of something called liquidity providers, LPs. Okay, please be taking notes as well, guys. Please do be taking notes, because I might get in depth, you know. So the reason why is because of liquidity providers. We have multiple liquidity providers providing different prices. Now, what is a liquidity provider? Well, I'll give you an example. Before you go on holiday, before you go to, let's say you're based in the UK and you want to go to, I don't know, Turkey. Before you go on holiday, what do? You exchange your pounds to Turkish lira, right? Where do you exchange it? You go to a post office, or a travel agency, or an exchange bureau. You go to exchange your pounds into Turkish lira. Well, they receive their prices from a liquidity provider, the exchange rate. A liquidity provider is what provides you the exchange rate. Now, we're going to dissect this now. How? We're going to dissect the liquidity provider's exchange rate. So in front of me, let me start with an easier example. Give me 1 second. Start with an easier example. Let me switch to EUR USD. So in front of me right now, you can see I have EUR USD, right? Now, there's a reason why in trading we have 2 currencies when we're talking about a currency pair. There's a reason why when we're trading 2 currencies. There's a reason why. It's because the left-hand side, the currency on the left-hand side, always, this is always the rule, by the way, no matter what style of trader you are, no matter what you are, always is the case where the currency on the left-hand side of that pair, the value of that is 1. Always remember this. And this is important. Trust me, it's important. I don't know why I see in today's day and age so many traders not even know this or take this into consideration with their trading. A simple thing like this allowed me to catch 300 pips last week on one trade, or one day. 300 pips. A simple thing like this, actually understanding this, allowed me to catch 300 pips. And I'm going to explain how. So the currency on the left-hand side is always 1. So if we're talking about EUR USD, the value of EUR is 1. Now, the currency on the right-hand side is what the value of that currency is against one of the currency on the left. So, example, right now, 1 euro equals 1.17174 USD. 1.17174 USD. 175 now. 187 now. Do you see? That is the exchange rate, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the price that you guys are seeing in front of you on the screens when you are trading. All these prices. So for example, let's do another example. NZD USD. I'm going to ask a question now in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the value of NZD? In front of me right now, can you type it? What is the value of NZD? From NZD USD, what is the value of NZD? 1. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, lovely. We're quick learners. Okay, that's lovely. So I can get on to the next, right? I can get on to the next thing because I want to dive into stuff. Once we got the flow going, I want to dive into more things. Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. You guys get it. So the value of NZD USD, the value of NZD is 1. So USD, the value is 0.60040 compared to 1 New Zealand dollar. That's what that value is, okay? So whenever you're looking at a currency pair, whenever you are looking at a currency pair that is in front of you, the value of the left-hand side is always 1. The right-hand side is the exchange rate of comparing it to what the 1 is, okay? So if, for example, you heard on the news that the dollar, the value of the dollar is going down. It's shooting down. The value of the dollar is getting weaker. It's getting weaker. Something just happened in the news that's making the value of the dollar going down. What will happen to NZD USD? Will the chart go up or will the chart go down? Can you let me know in the chat right now, guys? Can you say down or up? If the value of the dollar is getting weaker, it's shooting down, the value of the dollar is shooting down, is NZD USD going to go up or is it going to go down? Yes, there we go. It's going up. Yes, okay, lovely. Lovely. Please remember this, though. Please remember this. Because this is really, really important. Because I've come across intermediate traders that trade on the markets, that are applying Fibonacci's and so on, could not even answer that question when in the moment could not even answer that question. When a fundamental news strike takes place and the dollar's getting weaker, oh, NZD USD, oh, is it supposed to go up or down? I don't know. You just wasted precious moments there. Wasted precious moments. Did any of you guys catch my NFP trade last week? Did any of you guys catch my NFP trade last week? My non-farm payroll trade on Thursday. Did any of you guys let me know on the chat? If you guys did, say yes and say no. Okay, if you didn't, say no. It's completely fine. Say yes if you did. Let me know, let me know, let me know. No, no, no. Okay, a lot of you guys didn't. Okay, that's completely fine. Now, the reason as to why I asked that question, okay, is because as soon as I worked out through my fundamental analysis. Okay, Samad did. Yes. Yep. That was a sell. Yep. You got it. The reason why I asked this is because when I was doing my own research as to what's going to happen on NFP, when I was doing my fundamental analysis and so on, every single news site that I was looking at, every single news site was giving me the indication that the dollar was going to get stronger. Every single news site was giving me the implication that the dollar was going to get stronger. So what did I do? In a moment's time, what did I do? I placed a sell on my account. I went on the admin panel of MDC, AkashX. I sent a sell. I made sure everybody was prepared to catch the sell on gold. That's through fundamental analysis. So now, what am I talking about? Maybe you're a complete beginner and you're like, okay, Javid, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. Now you're going to get it what I'm talking about. So there's two types of analysis in trading. Two types of analysis that I do. Two types, okay? If you're taking notes, please take notes. If you're not, I don't know why you're not. There's two main types of analysis, okay? One is technical analysis, and trust me, if you're a complete beginner, you're going to get this all. I can assure you, you're going to understand it. Two types of analysis: technical analysis, fundamental analysis. I don't know where that went. Technical analysis, and fundamental analysis. I don't know what happened there. Okay, there we go. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis. What is the difference between the two? So, fundamental analysis is the one that I was just talking about. It's where you analyze your chart or you place your trade based on what's happened in the news, what you see on Twitter, what I read on Reddit, what I see reading the news on sites such as Sky News, Bloomberg, using a Bloomberg trading terminal, whatever news site I'm using, that is what fundamental analysis is. Fundamental analysis is trading based on what's happened in the news. No, it's not trading based on what's happened on Forex Factory, guys. Please. No. It's not trading based on what's happened on Forex Factory. Forex Factory is something you check to see when a news release is going to take place and how strong it is. It's a sentiment. It's not what traders use to actually do fundamental analysis. If you are using just Forex Factory to do fundamental analysis, I have some bad news for you. That is not fundamental analysis. Okay, so it's something that traders just use to check and see, okay, what time is this news happening? Oh, okay, 7 p.m. We got some news happening. Okay, that's not called fundamental analysis. That's just checking what the weather's like today. The same thing as saying, what's the weather like today? Before you go and play a football match. You're going to play a sports match, a cricket match, a tennis match, or whatever it may be. Checking what the weather is not you actually playing the game and getting a result. Does that make sense, ladies and gents? So please understand the difference, okay? Forex Factory and so on, those sites like that, they're just to check when the news is coming out. Okay? Technical analysis now is this is how I like to imagine it, okay? This is how I like to imagine it. Imagine you have a blank canvas, okay? Imagine you have a blank canvas in front of you, plain, nothing on it, no drawings, no coloring, and so on, okay? Imagine you have, let me just move this drawing off of this one. Imagine you have now a blank canvas in front of you, like this, completely plain, completely blank, empty, okay? Technical analysis is what you do on this. Technical analysis is when you apply your pencils, is when you apply your coloring pens, is when you apply the rubbers, is when you apply the paint, is when you apply the gloss, and so on. Technical analysis is when you apply your analysis using these technicalities, using all of these things, to end up getting a bigger picture, to end up getting a final picture with all its color, with all its drawings, and so on. That is what technical analysis is, because then you're able to see what's actually going on the charts based on all of these things. Applying your pencil, rubber, paint, and so on, using a ruler to draw things and so on. That's not my drawing, by the way. But yeah, so that's what technical analysis is, okay? And we're going to be, on this session, we might as well. We might as well do some together, you know? So that's the distinguishing factor between the two, okay? Now, amongst technical analysis, amongst fundamental analysis, I want you to think of it as two different sports, okay? Fundamental analysis is one sport, technical analysis is another sport, okay? Samad said indicators. Yeah, yeah, indicators. Yeah, you could say indicators, okay? I want to ask you a question though, Samad. Indicators in the world of trading is a bit like, you know, when a baby is learning to walk and a baby uses a walker. It uses a walker, you know, like it sits in that chair and it's got wheels on it, and they use that to learn to walk. That's what indicators is similar to. Can you use that in a race as an adult and you're running against other sprinters? No. Now, indicators are great because they indicate things based on mathematical calculations, algorithms, and so on. But the main thing that you need is your two legs, which is going to be a lot of things. With people have this misconception with technical analysis. They think technical analysis is just indicators. Oh yeah, I got an RSI on my screen. Um, and I got Bollinger Bands, and yeah, just did a bit of technical analysis. I see the charts, it's gone up and hit the top of my RSI. This is probably going to be a sell. Yeah, that's my technical analysis done. No, no, that that that, ladies and gentlemen, that's speculating. That's just you literally just looking at a indicator, which is just indicating to you what may happen to the charts based on a mathematical formula that was created back in the 80s and the 90s of what's going to happen to the markets in today's day and age. Guys, we're in 2025. We're in 2025, ladies and gents. Oh, Rupert's saying I'm unlearning everything. You don't have to. No, no. This session, I promise you guys, it's nothing to do with unlearning anything or anything like that. It's more a wake-up call. Let's call it a reality check, okay? Because I need you guys to understand this. Come on, guys. Like, think about it like this. You go on YouTube. You go on YouTube today. Search how to trade. What are they going to start teaching you on there? This is what a relative strength index is, ladies and gentlemen. The top bar is 70, the bottom bar is 30, or the top bar is 40, bottom bar is 60, and so on. When the line hits the top, you then have to sell. The line hits the bottom, you then have to buy. This is what a Bollinger Band is. When the candles stretch out the bands, it's going to go the opposite way, and so on. Guys, these were the methods that, yes, bankers used back in the 80s, back in the 70s, 1975, 1970. You think a Ray Dalio of today or a successful trader of today would be using these techniques, these methods? You think they're going to be using what was used back in the 70s when mobile phones didn't even have calculators on them? Phones didn't even have calculators on them. So if the world could progress so much, are you telling me trading hasn't progressed? Or the way you trade hasn't progressed or should have progressed? Come on, guys. You're telling me everything in the whole world has progressed except trading, except how you should be trading. Nah, come on, guys. This isn't the 60s, this isn't the 70s, this isn't the 80s or the 90s or even the early 2000s or the 2010s. We're in 2025 now, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to understand that the markets has changed. I can assure you, when I started trading, 2016, the markets was simpler. I'll be honest with you. When I say simpler, I mean there was less volatility in it. There was less volume in it. I remember back then, $5.3 trillion would be traded every single day. 5.3, yeah, it was $5.3 trillion every single day would be traded in 2018. Is that the case now? No. So if that is not the case now, would my strategies that I used in 2018 be working now? Why? Come on, let's dissect this, guys. Let's break this down. Why would it not be working? Because the fact that the volatility in the markets has changed. The way the markets moved has changed. What has the markets done? The markets may have gone through puberty. The markets may have grown up. Guys, the markets is a living, breathing thing. The markets is a living, breathing thing. It will change. It has its moods. It has all of these things. Someone said we studied with indicators in the past, but now we are seeing charts directions without indicators. That's the goal. No indicators is the only way for sure. Yeah. Because indicators, yes, certain indicators, okay? Like specific indicators, okay, like these general indicators like the RSI, guys. These indicators have been around for years. Years. Yes, to the point where I can have a history lesson. We can have a history lesson right now, and I can bore every single one of you in regards to the RSI, the Ichimoku clouds, and so on. The Japanese candlesticks, when they were formed by the Japanese. Why? As a better way to speculate the markets in the stock markets, Tokyo markets, and so on. What year was that? Now, I bet you, I can guarantee every single person on this call right now, every single person on this call right now that is trading probably only uses candlesticks, probably only uses these Japanese candlesticks. There's different ways to analyze the market, ladies and gentlemen. There's OHLC bars. Can you guys see these? OHLC bars. Yeah, Godfrey said, what about the scanner? No, I'm not talking about the scanner, Godfrey. I'm talking about the actual way the markets is displayed to us. So We already know this. I'm quickly going to brush over it, but these Japanese candlesticks in front of me, green represents the market has gone up, red represents the market has gone down. In front of me right now, the time frame I'm looking at is 15 minutes. So if I'm looking at 15 minutes, that means um, this candlestick, in the space of 15 minutes, the market opened here. Let me zoom in. For gold, the gold price was here and it dropped down to here in 15 minutes. But within that 15 minutes, it formed a wick. Can you guys see this wick? It went down here, climbed back up, probably climbed up, and then it dropped down here. That's what candlesticks is telling me. That's all candlesticks is telling me right now. And people do price action. People look at applying price action to read the patterns of the Japanese candlesticks and so on. I'd like to ask, why don't people also use OHLC bars? Because OHLC bars also show the same thing. Not only do they show the same thing, they also give you a precise indication of where the market literally opened. It's got the marker there. Let me zoom in and show you. It's got the markers right here. Look. Market opened here, it climbed up there, it dropped down here, and then it closed there. These are the open and close. Open and close. Shows the same thing. But what else does OHLC bars display? It displays different price action, different patterns to us, and so on, that we're able to take advantage of to speculate where the market is going to go next. That's a question I'm asking a lot of you guys, because I know, of course, Rupert's organization. I've seen you guys being very active in the communities. You guys have been following trades. You guys have been taking advantage of educational sessions and so on. But I don't want you guys to be ignorant to what you can do for you guys to be able to speculate what's going to happen next in the markets. Okay, because trading is not one of those things where there is an ABC way of always doing things. You always follow this to do this, to do that, to do that, to get this result. That's not how trading works. Trading is not linear. Trading is definitely not linear. Although things may be displayed to us as linear, trading is not linear. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is you're able to speculate, you're able to take advantage, for example, of a buy trade in a downtrend market. Yes, the trend is your friend until the bend in the end and so on. But you also need to understand there's money on the table to be made. I'm one of those people, okay? I get in and get out of the markets. I'm not one of those that like to show off. I'm on the charts all day and so on. I have a life, okay? I'm not one of those that want to sit on the charts from 9 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m., do a 12-hour shift. I should have worked at ASDA instead, or I should have worked a normal job instead if I was going to do shifts on the computer. I'll probably do some coding or something like that, something less stressful, right? That's the glamour or the glitz that's been sold to people that you should be doing in trading. That's not what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why we have amazing people in this company of AkashX, people such as Jefferson Santos, people such as Matthew Thayer, Alice Arley, and so on. All of these people that are making money from trading, but also making money from other things. They're smart. They're not here wasting their time thinking about what looks good. They're doing what makes sense. And that's what we want to be doing on the charts, ladies and gentlemen. We want to be getting in and getting out, taking advantage of making money and getting out. Okay. So I want to quickly dive into something. You know what? I'll go into, shall I go linear? Shall I go linear? So if you may have traded with me or ever come across myself trading in the past, you would have seen 2019, I was very heavily trading linear charts like these. Why? Because it's very easy for me to literally plot my charts that's in front of me. Why make life harder for myself, right? This is what I would do. Let me show you. Okay, so I'd have a linear chart in front of me. I'm on a daily chart and I can clearly see in front of me what is the market's doing. Is it going up or is it going down? The market is going up, right? I'm not Dora the Explorer. I'm not going to ask silly questions, okay? The market is going up overall. So if I know the market is going up, okay, I want to start plotting the charts. How do I plot the charts? I connect the dots. In school, what did we do? There would be lots of dots on a page and we'd connect them. And then what would happen? Voila, a picture would appear after connecting the dots. That's what we want to be doing, ladies and gents. So I'd connect the dots. After connecting the dots, I'd get an idea. Okay, these are the different levels of support and resistance. These are the support and resistance levels. Does that make sense, ladies and gents? Once I have an idea of, okay, these are my SNR, these are my... It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? I'm not an artist. I'm merely just drawing and connecting dots. It doesn't have to be literally like spending 15 or 20 minutes trying to connect all the dots together, making sure they're perfectly in line. I just want to connect the dots, connect enough dots for me to see. Now, if I only want to be buying, I'm just going to be connecting the dots for the support. I don't care about the top. Okay, that's me wasting 15 minutes of my time. Again, we don't want to waste time. We want to get straight to the money, right? We want to get straight into making money on the charts. So once I've decided, okay, these are the floors. I call them the floors. This is the floor. These are the different areas that is the floor for me on the markets. Okay, I switch to a different chart, and then I see, ooh, I zoom in and I see, ooh, okay, we have something else going on over here on a 15-minute time frame. Hey, the market kind of looks like it's going down overall, right? It's going down overall. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean I wasted my time with the daily. That's there, okay? That means what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm probably going to be looking for sells. I want to be taking advantage of sells, making the most of sells on the market, okay? That's basically what I'm going to be doing because on the daily time frame, let's be real, that is a very, very long time. The daily charts is a very long time, but what I do is I set reminders just in case because I don't want to miss out on money. I'll set reminders when the market hits a certain price, which is my floors. So I'll set a price reminder when the market hits 3,287 and so on. So I'll have these marked as my floors and so on. Pardon me. So I'll have these marked, okay, up in front of me. Now, if I know, okay, I want to be selling, I want to be looking at some sells and so on, I can use some indicators just to indicate to me what has happened, from what has happened, what may happen next, but that is not my full analysis. I may use some indicators. What indicators could I use? I could probably use the volume weighted average price. Let's bring that up. Have a look at the volume weighted average price. Put it on the hourly. Okay, volume weighted average price. As you can see through the volume weighted average price, it's kind of like the Bollinger Bands. It's out of the range. Can you see the market is out of the range? Majority of the time, the market stays within the range. So when it's out of the range, that means, hey, I could be going in for the trade soon, you know? So that's it. Just a quick glance. I'm not spending half an hour on it. I'm not taking a video to post on my social media about it. I'm done. I looked at it. I'm done. Okay. Just wanted to see what the volume weighted average price was saying. You know, what was it? What was it telling me? Hey, what volume weighted average price? What are you saying? Oh, you're out of range? Okay, cool. Thanks. See you later. So that's done. That's me done with the volume weighted average price. Maybe I want to use um now you're probably thinking, okay, Javid, but what is getting you to want to look at these indicators? Or why these specific indicators? Well, it's because I actually know how to use them. I actually know how to use them inside and out. You know what a lot of people do? The mistake that a lot of people do, even with RSI, the mistake that a lot of people do is they think they are making the most of an indicator, but what they are doing is they're waiting for the indicator to give them a alarming signal. They're waiting for the indicator to go all the way at the top. You see this top end? Let me change the colors on the setting. Where is it? Okay, cool. The upper band, let's change that to red. And the bottom band, let's change that to green. You know what a lot of people are doing? And let's change that to a solid line. Yep, and a solid line. There we go. Okay, so a lot of people are waiting for the RSI to hit this to gain some value of the RSI. No. RSI actually has its own SNRs as well, you know. RSI has its own SNRs, and not only that, can you see this middle band, this medium band? This medium band gives us an idea of if the market, the relative strength index, okay, based on the last 14 hours, okay, because my period is set to 14 and the time frame I'm looking at is the 1 hour time frame. Based on the last 14 hours, the market is in a upper band. So let's zoom in. Zoom into 15 minute. There we go. Yeah, it's in an upper band, you can see. So it's in this medium upper band and it's hit its ceiling, okay? That's what the RSI has told me. Okay, great. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm not going to waste any more analysis on it. The next thing is deciphering. Okay, now that I've deciphered, okay, sales do make sense for me. Based on what the chart is doing right now. This is scalps, by the way, guys. These are not swing trades. These are scalps because we're doing quite fast analysis. I'm sure you can tell I'm talking quite fast. We're analyzing kind of fast because time is of the essence when it comes to scalping. Oh, and we can see it's starting to drop right now. So we want to be taking advantage of these scouts very fast. We're not dwelling on things. We're trading naturally. We're flowing. Okay, we're flowing with the analysis that we're doing and what's in front of us. Okay, so I used two indicators there. Okay, I just used the RSI as an example to show me what I already knew. I said it's on the upper band. It was in the upper band. Okay, um, and we used the volume weighted average price. Okay, use the volume weighted average price in regards to what's happening on the charts. And now the next thing is, let's go on OHLC bars and zoom in. And we are primed for a sell, ladies and gentlemen. So why are we primed for a sell, ladies and gents? It's mainly because of the fact that we saw, so this is a scalp. This would be a scalp from here. Not a big one, quite a small scalp. But the reason why is because I got my OHLC bars is literally just based on price action right now. I already know I'm at a resistance area and so on. Over here, as you guys can see, this is a resistance area, right? Look, I'll connect the dots just for you guys to see. This is just for illustration purposes. Look, this is a resistance area. There. So I can see I got a resistance area over here, and I can see the market has been fighting. It's like a virus. The sell has been fighting the market. Two red candles over here, and then nope. Over here, you can see, can you see this balancing candle over here? Wait, let me zoom in to show you. This OHLC bar, can you guys see this one over here? So it opened here and closed here. Let me zoom in even more so you guys can see. This one right here. Can you guys see? It opened and closed in basically the same area. What does that mean? It means that was a false drop. That means, no, mate, not today. We're not dropping today. It climbed up. Shot up over here. Next candle. What did it do over here? Similar, but not as much. But it was one this time. It was one OHLC bar that was red. One OHLC bar. So it went from 2 to 1. So what does that mean next? We got an explosion coming very soon. What do I mean by explosion? I mean it's cooking. There's something brewing there. Again, this is a living, breathing thing, guys. Its charts are a living, breathing thing. It's brewing, it's brewing. It didn't explode out of the cup. It was brewing, brewing, didn't explode. It brewed. Didn't explode. It was a false out. Explosion is coming soon, guys. When I say explosion, I don't mean a fundamental analysis. I mean on the charts in front of us. I mean the candles. I mean the price of gold. A drop is coming. If you guys want to be scalping, if you're going to be placing a scalp trade, okay. I see Samad has asked, what do you suggest for beginners, for newbies to AkashX? One thing I definitely suggest is taking advantage of the trade alerts. The trade alerts that I send, I am only looking to snipe. My TP ones, as you have probably noticed, my TP ones are not 20 pips or anything like that. I'm not looking to take advantage of small moves. I'm looking to take advantage of big moves. My TP ones are 60 pips to 120 pips and so on. I'm looking to take advantage of big moves because I genuinely want to see you guys grow your trading accounts. I want you guys to make a lot of money. Dennis has said, can we take this trade? This is a scalp. I'm doing some scalp analysis. I don't really do any live scalping right now. There's a few more steps that I would be doing. I would be checking, of course. I didn't even check the news recently. I haven't even checked the news while we've been on this call and so on. But me personally, yeah, this is a scalp sell that I'm looking to take advantage of. Let me just check my phone, see if I am in any trade right now myself. Give me one moment. Am I in any trade? No, no, but I do see a melt coming soon. Oh yeah, I am in a trade. I'm in a trade right now. I've been selling. I've been selling. So yeah, I'm waiting for a drop anyway, a bigger drop to take place. I'm just looking at it right now. 3337. That's where gold is right now. But yeah, I would be scalping a sell. Okay, I'd be scalping a sell based on what I can see on the charts right now for myself. Now, how would I be scalping? Now, scalping, I'd be scalping a bit similar to you guys familiar with Hugo and Ivan? Uh Now, I don't usually do these on my sessions and so on. I don't do no sell trades and so on. But when I'm personally scalping, when I want to take advantage of 10, 15, 20 pips, I'd be going in like that, going in higher lot size and so on. Of course, this isn't financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving what I personally do. That's what I personally do when I'm going in for some scalps. So can you guys see over here? Look, you guys saw it how it looked on the OHLC bars. Can you guys also see on the candles? Can you guys also see that? Look at this. It looks like a wave. It's like a wave, wave, wave. We're gonna see a downward melt very soon. Okay, we're going to be seeing a downward melt very soon for gold. Now, that's how the the way I'm breaking it down to you, the way I'm speaking about my charts to you right now is literally how I'm thinking out aloud. These are the things I'd be saying or asking myself and talking about while I'm analyzing the charts. You know what I mean? In regards to my analysis. So the point of this is I want you guys to see that there's not one specific fixed way for you guys to be able to gain financial freedom or making money off the charts or making money in trading for yourselves and so on. There's multiple ways. And not only that, I need you guys to also understand that times are changing, okay? Times are changing rapidly, very rapidly. So you guys need to definitely get with the times. What do I mean by that? I mean, there's so many different forms of trading that you should be taking advantage of that are about to become very, very, very popular. That you're going to see many traders adopt. I don't know if you guys saw how popular ICT trading was in the year of 2024 to 2025. ICT, like that just came out of nowhere. But believe it or not, ICT, I witnessed it formed in 2017, 2018 by a bunch of lads in the UK. By a bunch of lads in the UK. ICT, that form of trading that has become quite popular. Educators are adopting it and so on. But what you need to understand is ICT didn't exist back in the 90s. ICT didn't exist back in the 80s or 70s. That sentiment, that formula, that way of trading, that style of trading. You need to understand that things change as time goes by. How did I get to this mental point or this mentality? Sorry. I took a look at other industries. Okay, I'm a big fan of football or soccer. Okay, I used to watch footballers like Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo when he was younger, Zinedine Zidane, R9, the Brazilian Ronaldo, and so on. All of these stars I used to watch when I was younger. Um, would they, all these players that were doing amazing and so on back then, are they around today? Are footballers like them around today? No. But it's still people winning though, right? There's still clubs that are winning Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, and so on. Somebody's got to win, right? And the way football has evolved, okay, over time, it's evolved quite rapidly if you actually think about it. This is for the lads that know about football. But from the early 2000s to what's happening right now, football has evolved so much. So has many industries. Look at the technology industry. Crazy. The technology industry. I mean, having a device like this. If you was to show a device like this to somebody back in the 50s or the 40s, they would have thought it's witchcraft. So if all of these things have developed, moved forward in time and so on with time, so has trading and will trading. So should your strategies. If you guys are using strategies that you can see on YouTube and so on, that's been around since the early 2000s, the 90s, and the 80s, it does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to make a lot of money from trading with those sort of strategies. It doesn't make sense because the markets won't agree with you. The market's moved on. The market's wearing the new seasons now, you know? That's old season. The market is looking at that, looking at your toolbox, and it's gonna laugh. I hate to break it to you like that, but we have to be real. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? So, what I'm going to be doing, of course, moving forward as well, I'm going to be announcing very soon that I am going to be introducing live sessions into the AkashX community where I am going to be breaking down new methods of how to trade on the markets. Okay. New methods in regards to how to actually analyze the charts based on how the markets are moving today. I'm not going to be using strategies that have existed from the 70s, 80s, and the 90s and early 2000s. I'm going to be using forms of trading that we use today because I trade on a personal account as well. And I'm also going to be displaying a MyFX book, if you guys are familiar with a MyFX book, so you guys can track my personal growth for my trading as well. So you guys can see, okay, Javid is actually trading on his personal live account as well. And I break down the strategies I'm using to catch those profitable trades, okay? And that's what I'm going to be doing on the AkashX platform for you guys and with you guys. I'm going to be breaking these down and we're going to be diving into it live. Anyway, can you guys see now the eruption is slowly starting for the sell on gold? Because these two were a fake out. Last one, so can you see it was brewing? It was brewing. Now we're gonna slowly start seeing some melting downwards for gold. But yeah, I'm going to be breaking those down to you. We will have a date very soon. I'm going to work it out with corporate when we can work that out, so I can find a nice slot to teach across different time zones for all different markets as well, guys. So anyway, today I did dive into quite a bit. I apologize if I took up a bit too much of you guys' time. But I just felt like I had to definitely get a lot off my chest in regards to what's going on in the markets today, what we are doing here, why we are here. Okay, because we're here for a reason, right? There's a reason why you're taking time out of your day to jump on these calls. Yes, I'm taking time out to be on a call, but you're taking time out to jump on these calls. Let's make it worth it. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? Be very intentional with everything that you're doing in regards to your trading, in regards to the knowledge that you guys are gaining, and every single piece of value that you are gaining. Make sure you guys are applying it as well, okay? Because I want to see account growth. I want to see you guys growing your trading accounts. Now, a question as well I'd like to ask you guys. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please be more active on the AkashX official community channel. If you guys are there, I have got a topic open. Okay, I have got a topic open for myself. This is where I have been posting. For example, last week's trades, we went 100% on the trade alerts on AkashX, and then I ended up treating myself to a lovely watch. Okay, so I'm very active on the community. I'm going to be even more active. Everybody shares their results. As you can see, we had 100% winning streak last week on the trade alerts, guys, on AkashX again. So let's look to keep that up. Let's look to keep up some great trade alerts. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I wanted to cover with you all. I'd like to thank you all for jumping on. And Rupa, if you're still there, I'd love to pass it back to yourself, madam.
Thank you so much. Wow. Guys, that was different. That was so, so different. And it definitely blew my mind. Some of the stuff you were saying, because I've also been trading for the last 8 years, and you literally hit the nail on the head. Like, for me, it was like those moments where you're doing stuff from so back in the days or from previous, from what you know, and trading is a season. Everything is seasonal in trading. And so you got to adapt with the season. You got to adapt with the weather conditions. You got to adapt with the economy. Everything is about adaptation in trading. And I absolutely love that. Thank you so, so much, guys. Let's show a lot of love back to Javed for his time, for his wisdom. And it all just takes one thing. It always just takes one thing for someone to say, for you to have that moment, that like kind of light bulb moment, and you're going to say, wow, this is what I needed to know. This is the information I needed. And now I can reapply myself in my trading. Now I can really do things the correct way in today's world. So thank you so much, Jawed. That was absolutely incredible. And for the guys who missed the call, I just feel so bad for them because I took plenty of notes. I really had a moment. So I really, really appreciate you on this call, guys. And yes, thank you to everyone else logging onto this call, guys. Just keep discipline, keep your trading journals, understand what you're taking, when you're taking it, why you're taking it, and just stay on track with your trading plan, okay? Just stick to your rules and just keep it simple. That's what I've always done. I don't overanalyze. I don't add so many different ingredients to my, perfect cake ingredient. I don't add all these different things and say, well, let me try this and let me try that and let me try that. I literally keep it very simple. And this is how I've been able to progress slowly into my trading journey also, but so much more to learn. I cannot wait for your live sessions, Javed, and I'm sure everyone else cannot wait to be plugging in and just absorbing that information and just going to a next level in trading. So thank you all, ladies and gents, so much for joining this call. Have an amazing, profitable week. Let's keep cracking on. Let's keep learning and earning and helping more and more people within our community. Thank you all and have a pleasant evening.